What's happening, YouTube? Back at y'all with another video, man. We got the dumbest TikTok trends ever, man. As y'all know, TikTok is a brain rot out for some people. I don't get brain rot to it though, but you know. Yo, YouTube's going y'all boys, man. Back at y'all with another video, man. We got the dumbest TikTok trends ever, man. Let's hop into it.
Social media is raising serious concern among local police departments. It involves people shooting innocent bystanders with water pellets.
Please.
I thought it was gonna be real bullets.
This is perhaps one of the dumbest challenges next to eating Tide Pods that I've ever witnessed.
TikTok is not reality to real life, but there's real consequences for some of those things that go on there.
TikTok created the internet's worst challenges, and as of right now, TikTok could potentially be banned. Today, we'll explore the dumbest TikTok trends ever, starting with weird ones to straight up insane. So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing quality. And to do that, we gotta keep growing. So 75% of you guys aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if you did. And I promise to do my very best. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. The pee in your pants challenge. People usually join TikTok trends to look cool, but the pee in your pants challenge was different because it was just embarrassing. It began in April 2020 when a guy named Liam Wire filmed himself peeing his pants. Then he posted the video online.
Pee your pants challenge.
Liam made the
grown ass man peeing your pants. Hey, bro. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised though.
The video as
not
a
surprised.
joke. He just wanted to make fun of how ridiculous TikTok challenges had become.
Not surprised,
but
nigga.
people didn't get that joke. Instead, they thought he was trying to start a new trend. And just like that, the pee your pants challenge took off. TikTokers everywhere started filming themselves in front of mirrors, wetting themselves. Anyone watching the video could see the wet spot on their pants.
I'm not looking for. Come on, challenge.
TikTok eventually deleted
I ain't
Liam's
never
video,
seen this shit.
but that didn't stop the challenge from spreading. This was during the lockdown when people were stuck at home and desperate for entertainment. At its peak, the Pee Your Pants challenge hit over 4 million views on TikTok. But although it was getting a lot of attention, most people obviously
early TikTok was kind of crazy though.
Please, don't pee your pants for TikTok. This is perhaps one of the dumbest challenges next to eating Tide Pods that I've ever witnessed.
But it wasn't just gross. There were real consequences for those who took part in the challenge. The biggest problem was that the internet never forgets. Anyone who did this challenge now has a video of them peeing their pants on the internet forever. And with many employers now checking social media before hiring, they could easily find those embarrassing videos. The challenge eventually faded, but it left an important lesson behind.
Imagine your future wife finding a video of you peeing your pants, gang. She's dropping you right there. Like, GG's, nigga, it's cooked. You know what I mean?
Trends end, but embarrassment lasts
Digital
forever.
footprint.
This next trend also seemed harmless, but it could easily send people to the emergency room. The raw dogging challenge. In 2023, Apple TV released a show called Hijack. It was an interesting story, but no one expected it to spark one of TikTok's dumbest trends. In the Hijack show, the main character spends 7 hours on a plane without using any devices for entertainment to pass the time. He endured the long flight with 0 distractions. Somehow, this inspired TikTokers to do the same.
Why ain't just go to sleep?
People were posting videos of themselves raw dogging flights. This meant no scrolling on their phone, no music, no reading. They would just sit there for hours staring straight
I couldn't
ahead.
do that. I ain't
Called
gonna lie.
it the raw dogging challenge. At first, it seemed like an interesting endurance test. Some called it the ultimate dopamine detox to reset the brain. But as always, TikTok took it way too far. Participants added extra rules like no sleeping, no drinking water, and no snacking or eating. The more extreme it got, the more people tried to outdo each other. Soon, raw dogging flights wasn't just a trend. It was a competition who could last the longest. Even celebrities, rappers, and athletes joined, posting their own entries. Before long, the challenge even had an unofficial scorecard. And since it turned into a contest, people started cheating. Some actually raw dogged flights while others just faked it. Like Nathan Daw, who posted a TikTok claiming he raw dogged a 9-hour flight. But there was one problem. The airline he flew didn't even have flights that long. Then there was comedian Danny Duncan. He said that he raw-dogged an 18-hour flight, but his clip was obviously a joke. But not everyone picks up on these jokes, so these fake videos inspire more people to actually participate. And that's where the real problem started, because most TikTokers didn't understand that this challenge could actually be dangerous. Taking long flights without food or water increases the risk
What's
of
the point
dehydration.
risking your
Planes
health
already
for
dry
a
you out, and this only makes
viral video?
dehydration worse.
Never mind.
At sea level, the average humidity in the air is 40 to 50%, where in an aircraft it can be as low as 10%. If your body isn't used to that level of humidity, you can rapidly dehydrate.
But dehydration wasn't the only danger.
So not only are you dehydrating yourself by just sitting in the cabin, your blood is also losing a lot of oxygen by breathing in such thin air constantly.
Airplane air is way thinner than what we breathe on the ground. That's why people feel lightheaded or exhausted after a long flight. The lower oxygen levels make it harder for the body
I
to
didn't know
function
that.
properly. But most TikTokers didn't understand
It made
the
me
risks,
scared to ride
so
a
they
plane
kept
mode.
going. Luckily, the media stepped in just in time. One article read, "Idiots are doing this on planes and it's dangerous." They ripped the raw dogging challenge apart, listing all the ways it could go wrong. Other media personalities called the trend pointless.
Being a person, being present in the space you're physically occupying, even that we now call a trend.
As news outlets criticized and pointed out the dangers, the challenge started losing momentum. And by the end of 2024, TikTokers abandoned the raw dogging challenge and moved on.
I ain't
to the
seen
next
that one
viral
either.
trend. We already know that TikTok is full of terrible health advice, but this next challenge might be the dumbest health trend ever. The beer tanning challenge. The beer tanning trend probably started because of a shocking claim that spread on TikTok. In July 2023, a TikToker posted a video warning that using sunscreen was actually dangerous.
Literally rubbing cancer into our skins.
The District of New York follows a report by online pharmacy.
Nah, TikTok do be like, they be doing false shit. Like they be, it sometimes be helpful, but it be wrong though sometimes.
He explained that some sunscreens contain benzene, which is a chemical suspected of causing cancer. That was all people needed to hear. The video went viral, getting over 5 million views.
Y'all
Viewers
folks
were
need them
scared, but
y'all
they
need
were
that
also
sunscreen,
confused.
bro.
If sunscreen was dangerous,
You
what
tripping,
were people
bro.
supposed to use
Even
instead?
some black folks
TikTok
need
had an
sunscreen
answer.
sometimes,
Beer.
boy.
Barely a month after the sunscreen controversy blew up, a new TikTok trend started. It was called the Beer Tanning Challenge. People would film themselves rubbing beer all over their skin, then lie out in the sun. The idea
What?
was that the hops in beer boosted melanin in the skin, speeding up the tanning process.
Oh boy, what's happening
Beer
here?
tanning?
Yeah, this guy's pouring beer all over himself here. This is
So
the
you wanna
latest
you
trend
wanna
on
smell
TikTok.
like beer on the
Beer
beach?
tanning.
At first, it sounded like a crazy theory,
That's
but soon
disgusting.
people started posting before and after shots showing off their deep tans. Some even swore beer worked better than sunscreen. Within weeks, the beer tanning challenge became very popular. Videos with the hashtag #BeerTan skyrocketed to almost 300,000
Beer
views,
smelling
and
at it.
more people joined the challenge. But while TikTokers were celebrating their bronzed skin, one group was trying to shut down this challenge ASAP. Dermatologists hated the beer tanning challenge and called it downright dangerous. For starters, the science behind beer tanning was completely bogus.
Apparently, the hops in the beer stimulate the production of melatonin, which leads to a tan. But there's absolutely no evidence to support this.
Beer has 0 SPF, which means it doesn't protect the skin from sunburn like proper sunscreen does. Even with sunscreen, 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer. Swapping sunscreen for beer only increases that risk. As the media covered the dangers, the backlash grew. Eventually, TikTok stepped in. They banned the beer tanning challenge and started removing any videos promoting it. And since TikTok was suppressing the beer tanning challenge, it gradually disappeared. This next trend caused nothing but pain and discomfort. But that's exactly what made people want to try it. No Poop July. The No Poop July challenge is as ridiculous as it sounds. The goal is simple.
So you're not
Don't
gonna
use
take
the
this
toilet
shit the
for the
whole
entire
month?
month of July. Every year, hundreds of people join in posting TikTok videos
Just be
to show how
constipated
long
just
they
for
can
views.
last. But before we find out if anyone actually pulled it off, there's a bigger question. How did such a ridiculous trend even start? In July 2020, a TikToker named OK Kron posted a video looking extremely uncomfortable. The text on the screen read, "Day 1 of No Poop July." OK Kron's face said it all. He was struggling to hold it in, but the caption made it even funnier. It said, "Can I make it till the end?" It was a bold question, and thousands wanted to
Nigga
see
boy,
if
you gonna
OK Kron
shit
could actually
yourself.
last the whole month. His video received
Tweaking.
84,000 likes, and the comments were full of people
He was
cheering
capping,
him
though.
on. As the days passed, OK Kron kept the
Hopefully he's
suspense
capping,
going
right?
with dramatic updates. Each new video showed him looking worse, sweat pouring down his face, pained facial expressions, and lots of squirming.
You
The more
could easily
uncomfortable he
cap.
looked,
You
the
could have
more
capped this
excited
out.
viewers got. Viewers weren't sure if he was kidding or if he was really holding it in for a month, but it was entertaining regardless. Then, just as July was coming to an end, there was a twist.
You might know him as the kid who hasn't pooped for 26 days, but today we found proof that he lied to us.
Well, duh.
Did you fail? Be real. Yeah. Obviously, like, I'd be in the hospital.
With a simple,
Duh.
funny video, OK Kron admitted he failed the challenge. Up until this moment, No Poop July wasn't even a trend. It was just one guy doing something dumb for laughs. However, it got people wondering if it was possible to go an entire month without pooping. They were determined
Yeah,
to
niggas
find
actually
out.
tried
TikTok
this.
quickly dug up a real-life case that made the challenge seem possible. It was about a man who held it in for a very long time.
And while he was waiting behind bars, Lamar went on a poop strike. He simply refused to go to the bathroom altogether. He didn't go to the bathroom for literally 47 straight days.
Suddenly, No Poop July didn't seem like it was just a joke. So by July 2021, 1 year after the original challenge, it started trending again. This time, more TikTokers joined in, posting videos of themselves trying to hold it in. And some of them were taking the challenge seriously.
Some of these
Even
niggas
OK
is for
Kron
real.
came back for the 2021 challenge, posting daily updates just like before. Then in July 2022, No Poop July returned for the third year in a row. That's when doctors realized this was becoming an annual event, and they were horrified. Worried doctors begged people not to try the challenge.
This is not normal because if you're not having a bowel movement every day, it could lead to abdominal pain, gas, bloating, and other issues.
But instead of dying down, it exploded. The 2023 edition of No Poop July racked up 80 million views in just a few weeks.
Dude, it's July. You know what that means?
I don't know what that means.
Just look on TikTok. It's No Poop July. Oh no!
The 2024 edition crossed 100 million views.
I've
The
never heard of
2024
this
was
one.
special because OK
What?
Kron, the TikToker who started it all, decided to turn the ridiculous trend into something meaningful. To everyone's surprise, he announced that he donated about $1,000 worth of toilet paper to various charities. OK Kron's donation meant that something positive came out of this dumb challenge. Hopefully, No Poop July won't return in 2025. But with how popular it's gotten, it probably will. The next trend on our list was mostly done by women, and it backfired in the worst way possible. The Silhouette Challenge.
I think I remember
Hundreds
this
of
one.
women took part in this challenge, but they had no idea that this trend would make them targets for creeps and trolls on the internet. The challenge started in January 2021 when a TikToker named Yoelise posted a video with a unique editing style. The silhouette effect with the red background looked amazing. Within hours, Yoelise's comments were flooded with people begging for a tutorial. They wanted to make their own versions. Yoelise listened. That same day, she posted a step-by-step guide. To create the silhouette effect, they just needed to use a red tinted filter from Snapchat or TikTok. Before long, TikTokers everywhere were trying it out. They called it the Silhouette Challenge. Even celebrities joined the trend.
So turn on the light in your bathroom. Okay. Go in your door arch, okay? And just whatever you want to do.
At its peak, the Silhouette Challenge got more than 200 million views.
Yeah, I
on
remember this
TikTok.
one, bro.
But like most TikTok
It's the
trends,
only one
it
I
didn't
know
take
so
long
far.
for things to go wrong. Because the challenge was showing off body shapes, the participants wore as little as possible. Others wore nothing at all. After all, the red filter was supposed to hide everything, leaving only a shadow. But it turns out the filter wasn't foolproof. Before long, some creeps online figured out how to remove the filter. And once they took it off, they could see everything, if you catch my drift. Suddenly, tutorials on how to remove the red
Niggas
filter
was figuring
started
out how to
popping
take
up
that bit
everywhere.
off.
And since there were hundreds of Silhouette Challenge videos online, creeps were having a field day. People even created subreddits like Silhouette Unfiltered to share Silhouette Challenge videos with the filters removed. Panic spread fast. Suddenly, TikTokers were warning everyone to stay away from the silhouette challenge, or at least wear clothes while doing it.
So word of warning, if you're going to make a video as part of the silhouette challenge, keep your clothes on. People are attempting to revert the videos back to their normal coloring, and that can reveal things that viewers aren't supposed to see.
For some, the warnings came in time, but for others, it was too late. Their videos had been downloaded, altered, and shared to creeps across the internet. TikTok tried to help by banning filter removal tutorials and shutting down accounts spreading them. But instead of being relieved, some victims blamed TikTok for not acting sooner. One thing was clear:
you gonna blame
the
TikTok?
challenge should have never existed. This next trend wasn't just dumb, it
Being
was
naked,
also
dancing
a
on the
crime.
camera and blaming TikTok.
The
boy.
Chase Bank glitch. On September
Chase
1st,
Bank.
2024, TikTokers were buzzing with excitement. The reason was because they thought they found a way to get free
Money glitch.
thousands of dollars completely free. They called it the Chase Bank glitch.
So what people would do, they would write a big check that they didn't have the money for, a bad check, and then they would immediately take money away from an ATM.
Just like the guy explained, they would write a check for more money than they had in their Chase Bank account and deposit it. These checks were fake because their accounts had no money to back them up. Then, before the bank could catch on, they would rush to an ATM and withdraw the check's full amount. In other words, they were scamming the bank for free cash. As word spread,
I didn't see
the
this one
hashtag
either.
Chase Bank glitch started trending.
Not gonna
on
lie, I would have
TikTok.
been in on
Within
this one.
hours, people were
Tripping.
lined up at Chase Bank ATMs, eager to cash in.
Nah, I said
Nigga said legendary day.
it's hard up.
Boy, I would have been glitching too.
There was one
I would've
small
been
problem.
eating.
The so-called glitch was actually a crime. As more
Yeah,
people
I don't
heard
care.
about the
I would've
trend,
been glitching.
financial experts
Until I got
explained why
caught.
the Chase Bank glitch was actually
Sorry.
check fraud.
Make no mistake, in
Duh.
every sense of the word, this
Duh,
is
it's
check
fraud.
You are knowingly writing.
See, I wouldn't have did it unlimited though.
Even
I would have
worse,
known
you
to
are
stop.
committing a felony against yourself.
Anyone caught committing check fraud can face huge fines, prison time, and even a lifetime ban from opening a bank account.
Chase will alert every other bank that you try to go to, and you may possibly never be able to get an account. You'll have to.
But despite
that's
all
tough.
warnings, the Chase Bank glitch kept trending on TikTok. Some posted screenshots of their bank balances as proof that it worked. Others saw a chance to cash in, selling step-by-step guides or charging fees to teach people how to pull it off. But it was only a matter of time before the bosses at Chase Bank realized TikTokers
Bro,
were
my eye
stealing
is
from
bugging.
them. And when they did, they were furious. On September 2nd, barely 24 hours after the glitch went viral, Chase Bank shut it down. The bank released a statement saying the glitch was fixed. Fake checks wouldn't work anymore. And just to make things clear, they added, depositing a
Boy, my
fraudulent
eye
check
is
and withdrawing
tweaking.
the funds from your account is
Hold on.
was panicking, and they had good reason to be worried because Chase Bank was coming after them. By October 2024, the bank started suing those who used the glitch. One person stole $335,000 during the
Damn.
glitch. Chase didn't stop there. They identified accounts that deposited.
See, I wouldn't have got
checks,
greedy.
froze them, and took back whatever money was left. Most of those accounts
took it
ended
back.
up with negative account balances with a bunch of zeros.
Man,
Damn.
they really told me to tap in. Next day was supposed to clear. Look at my account, yo.
See, I wouldn't have did that much though. It would be a
Soon,
minimum
arrests
damage.
began. Those who thought they scored free money were charged and tried in court. The Chase Bank glitch became a brutal lesson. Don't commit a financial crime because someone on TikTok told you it was cool. This next trend took an ordinary daily activity and turned it into something idiotic. The cereal challenge. Here's how the challenge worked. Two people had to participate. One person lay down with
Is
their
that
mouth
that
wide
Charles
open, while the
dude?
other
Come
poured
on, man.
cereal and milk in. Then the second person had to eat the cereal straight from their mouth using a spoon. To pass the challenge, the person on the bottom had to keep their mouth open while the second person ate from it. Some managed to keep their mouths open long enough to complete the challenge.
He was eating
Others
out of
ended up
another
coughing,
nigga
soaked
mouth.
in milk. Huge influencers with millions of followers joined the trend. And with that kind of reach, the cereal challenge spread faster.
Doing the cereal challenge with my
Oh. Come on,
Some
man.
even decided to involve their pets in
Skip
the
past that
challenge,
club.
and you do not want to see those videos. But the challenge was also pretty risky. If the person lying down inhaled milk or cereal, they could legitimately choke and suffocate. This trend was all risk with zero reward.
Nigga, that's
Luckily, the cereal
nasty.
challenge didn't last long. But while it was trending, it proved people will do just about anything for 15 minutes of fame, even if it puts their health on the line. This next trend was one of the dumbest and most dangerous ones out there. The Orbeez Challenge. In 2022, the Orbeez Challenge was so notorious that people threatened to arrest anyone caught doing it. To understand why, you first need to know what Orbeez are. Orbeez are tiny beads that swell up when soaked in water.
There are 1 million Orbeez in this bar. This is literally so satisfying.
Orbeez are usually harmless. Kids play
What
with
are
them, and
Orbeez
some
even
people
for, though?
even use them to relieve stress. But in 2022, someone had a reckless idea. They started loading Orbeez into toy guns and shooting them like tiny water bullets. Except they weren't aiming them at friends. They were targeting random strangers.
These things can shoot up to about 200, 210 feet per second.
And then it got even worse. People began freezing the Orbeez before loading them.
Damn,
So instead of
that
bursting
thing
on
probably
impact,
hurt.
frozen Orbeez hit like rubber bullets. That made them a lot more painful and more dangerous.
If I got hit by that bit, you know what time it is.
Replicate a real firearm.
By March 2022, the Orbeez challenge was out of control. TikTokers across the country were shooting Orbeez at random strangers.
A new trend on social media is raising serious concern among local police departments. It involves people shooting innocent bystanders with water pellets.
Police cracked down hard, arresting teens who participated in the challenge. In one case, 4 teens were arrested. They were charged with disorderly conduct, harassment, and reckless endangerment.
Police say surveillance video showed the 4 teens pull up in a car and fire the gel pellets into a class
For no
working
reason.
outside.
You would think arrests
For no
would scare
reason,
people
bro.
off, but it didn't. Kids kept doing the Orbeez challenge until someone lost their life. On June 2nd, 2022, a group of teenagers Orbeezed some guys playing basketball. But these weren't the kind of guys to laugh it off. A fight broke out, and by the time it was over, one of the basketball players lost his life. He was only 17. When the media reported the case, people finally realized how serious this challenge was.
TikTok is not reality to real life, but there's real consequences for some of those things that go on there.
That was the final straw. Police cracked down harder on the Orbeez challenge. In Kentucky, a mayor banned water pellet toys completely. Walmart, Target, and Amazon pulled Orbeez from their shelves. Even Spin Master,
they
the
banned
company
Orbeez?
behind Orbeez, addressed the issue. They released a statement saying they had no affiliation with the gel toys and that their Orbeez products were
Yeah,
not
get
intended
the
to be
toys,
used as
not the
projectiles. But after all this, the Orbeez challenge didn't completely disappear. Orbeez challenge incidents were still being reported as recently as 2024. These trends prove that some people will do anything to fit in. But just remember, the people that change the world are the ones that choose to be different. Visual Venture.
Inspirational.
Wait, before you go, make sure you guys watch.
Make sure y'all boys like, comment, subscribe, man. Let me know what y'all think about the video, man. We out.